Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, it's a special night here at McMorran Place as Joe Pace, the former GM and head coach of the Port Huron Prowlers, makes his return to the place where he built this organization, and that will be a special night for the fans here, and certainly all weekend long we will be celebrating that. But on the ice, Prowlers looking for their first victory of the season. They're taking on a Mississippi team that's already 2-0. We'll have the pregame show coming up for you next. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
Welcome back to McMorran Place, where the Prowlers and the Seawolves are just minutes away from puck drop on this Friday, the October the 27th, and the very first time again that the Seawolves are in this building. Well, I mentioned it already. Seawolves 2-0 coming into this game. Let's take a look at their last matchup. It was a 4-3 overtime victory over the Blue Ridge Bobcats as Mississippi swept Blue Ridge on the road to open the season, taking 5 out of a possible 6 points. Although for the Bobcats, they did take their first lead ever in franchise history in this game on Vladislav's second period power play goal, and I included that partially because it's an important statistic and partially because I wanted to say Vladislav's name. But the Seawolves came right back to tie it at the end of that period. We got to overtime, and then in overtime, a cross-checking penalty on Jackson Bond when he was on a breakaway. He drew the call. He got the puck at center ice, and he went down and he scored a penalty shot OT goal. One of the highlights of that game and all the games around the Continental Division coming up in the first intermission report, as we have our first Continental catch-up of the season, but you'll have to wait and see that until the first 20 minutes are played. Either way, though, Mississippi 2-0 to start the season. Joseph Shepard was phenomenal. He made 30 saves in the second period alone, and that was a frame that really could have turned the tide in Mississippi's direction, and Blue Ridge's direction, could have sent that game off the rails for the Seawolves. For the Prowlers, they dropped a 3-2 decision to the Motor City Rockers here at McMorran Place on October the 21st, and it was another game where the Prowlers took a lead and then ended up falling to the Rockers. They get swept by Motor City at home. Although the Port Huron power play was working, it was that unit led by Alex Johnson as Sam Merritt picked up a power play goal. So did David Gaeta. So that was a positive at least for the Prowlers. But Scott Kowash had the overtime winner. There have been 3 OT winners for the Motor City Rockers against the Prowlers in Rockers franchise history. Scott Kowash has all 3 of them. Let's take a look at what this means for the standings in the Continental Division. See the Prowlers dropping to 4th in the division after the River Dragons victory last night over the Baton Rouge Zydeco. 3 of the 6 teams have a win so far this season. Carolina, the only team to not play a game yet in the division. They dropped the puck tonight in Danbury, a place of old demons for them, as they fell 3 times their last playoffs to lose the Commissioner's Cup final in 5 games. Well, we already talked about it. The big story this weekend, Joe Pace returning to Port Huron for the very first time as a visitor. 268 games for Pace as a member of the Port Huron Prowlers. He's the franchise's all-time leader in penalty minutes with 863. He is also the FPHL's all-time leader in penalty minutes with over 1,700 over his career. So it's going to be an interesting weekend with Pace coming back. We did have an exclusive interview with him this week. That will be playing during tomorrow night's game here on our broadcast. So be sure to tune in for that. For the Prowlers, another face making his first professional start tonight. It's Braden Deck, who played 51 games in the USPHL Premier last year. This will be his pro hockey debut as he becomes the 5th Prowler to make their Port Huron Prowlers debut, or their North American pro hockey debut this season, joining Brandon Picard, Dion Demke, and David Gaeta, and as well as Tristan Sims. So Braden Deck on the defensive side will make his pro debut. And there you see the lines. Deck in the starting lineup, along with Dalton Young up front. Austin Federle, Sam Merritt, and Evan Foley will be the starters. Phil Bushbacher back in the lineup for the Prowlers. No Frank Schumacher this weekend, though, for Port Huron, as he is unavailable at all for this weekend for the Prowlers. So they will be down to this group that you see there on your screen for this weekend. As we are just minutes away from the start of this game, both teams getting set to take the ice, hopefully here in just a couple of minutes. The clock here at McMorran Place running down to the seconds right now. Referees are on the ice as we look towards the tunnel and wait for both teams to get on the ice so that we can start this game. And as we do that, we will take a timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumbcoats professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
Seawolves taking the ice here at McMorran Place. And again, we are just minutes away from the action. And just momentarily, we will take you down to ice level so they can announce the starting lineups for the Port Huron Prowlers and the Mississippi Seawolves. Again, the Seawolves led by Joe Pace, the longtime GM and head coach of the Prowlers, left last season to start the team in Mississippi and didn't get a chance to play here, as both of the Prowlers' home games, technically home games in that series, were played in Baton Rouge. They were neutral site games. So this is Joe Pace's real return to Port Huron, and we are sure that he will get a big ovation from the crowd here at McMorran Place. We'll see if he is in the starting lineups, as we will take you down to ice level now for the end of the opening ceremonies. Sarah Dent on the national anthem tonight in Port Huron. As they get to the ceremonial puck drop, we just want to check out the Mississippi starting lineup. Joe Pace, as we mentioned, is in the starting lineup. He'll be on defense along with Ethan Bush Anderson. Up front, it's Hugo Koch, a guy who I've heard from people within the organization they are very excited about down there, as when he settles in, should be a big force for them. Former Prowler Yanni Liarakos also up front, and they are joined by Joachim Nilsson, who is playing his first game outside of Sweden. He was signed earlier today by the Seawolves. So those are your Mississippi starters. Let's take a look at the goaltenders for each side. The in net for Mississippi will be Joseph Shepard. He played both games last weekend, picked up a couple of victories for Mississippi. On the other side, Ian Wallace also played both games for the Prowlers. He's 0-1-1, looking for his first win of the season, but both of them had strong first weekends between the pipes. We'll see which one of them can pick up the victories tonight. Sam Merritt there to meet Yanni Liarakos at the center ice face-off dot. In case you missed the pregame show, Merritt flanked by Austin Federley and Evan Foley. And on defense, Dalton Young and Braden Deck making his pro hockey debut. Those are your starters for the Prowlers. We're underway here from McMorran Pace, and it's the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Pace with the first touch, saucing it across. Liarakos sent it on for Koch. Back in front looking for Liarakos. Nielsen got a good backhand shot that Wallace made the stop on. Liarakos below the goal line. Out high to Bush Anderson. Touches it down to Nielsen. Turnaround try. Hit Merritt. Now Austin Federley. Taken in by Liarakos. Puck pops loose. Merritt sent it all the way across. Bush Anderson was backing up, so he couldn't keep that puck in. Both teams will make their first changes 40 seconds in. Young weaving his way through center. Nice move to get into the offensive end, but he couldn't get it in a shooting position. Now Mississippi on the counterattack. Here's Chuck Costello pulling up, poked away by DeCumbis. And now Graham over to Tristan Sim. Missed it wide. Comes all the way back out to center to Matt Stoya. Graham out there with Sim and Vinny DeCumbis. The top line tonight for the Prowlers. Here's Lambert trying to make one more pass across, and that was stymied by a Prowler stick. Costello to the point. Russell wrists it through, gloved and held by Ian Wallace for a whistle. Kyle Russell, the captain of the Vernal Oilers last season, team that Braden Deck played on for part of last year in the USPHL Premier. Russell making his pro hockey debut last weekend when the Seawolves were in Blue Ridge. Here's a turnover. Adam Heinzel trying to get back on the puck. He's able to work it up to Jay. Lead pass looking for Picard. Gets there eventually. Now it's back to Mississippi. Russell fanned on the clearing attempt. Goes all the way across the ice. Picard first there. He sends it down low to Dalton Anderson. Tried to turn it out in front. Comes to the point. Heinzel with a wrist shot through. And it's reaching up to glove that was Joseph Shepard. An interesting line here. Dalton Jay, Dalton Anderson, and Brandon Picard. Three guys who you consider goal scorers if you look at their stats. Picard, of course, more goals than assists in college. Dalton Anderson, more goals than assists last season. And Dalton Jay, the Prowlers' all-time leader in goals. We'll see if they'll find the back of the net tonight. Heinzel collects at center for Port Huron. Sauces a backhander all the way across to Alex Johnson. Now Merritt flying in with speed, and he put one on right into the catching glove of Shepard. Of course, Sam Merritt, one of the fastest guys in the FPHL, certainly the fastest guy on the Prowlers heading in one direction. Got a good opportunity there. He's able to win this one back, but to the wrong side of Alex Johnson, so the Prowlers need to regroup. Foley tried to go all the way across for Federley. It was kicked away by Liarakos. Federley and Nielsen ran into each other away from the puck. Meanwhile, Koch is back in, but offsides. Prowlers went 6-0 last season against the Mississippi Seawolves. Perfect 4-0 in Mississippi, 2-0 at the neutral site games in Baton Rouge. Prowlers were the only team to win a regular season game at the Raising Cane's River Center in Baton Rouge until last night when the River Dragons beat the Zydeco in their home openers. Wallace covers up. Mississippi did take a victory at the Raising Cane's River Center last season, but that was an exhibition against the Carolina Thunderbirds, so the Prowlers the only team, again, to pick up points there until last night. Prowlers did have 5 regulation victories and 1 shootout win over the Seawolves last year as Wallace kicks out that shot from Wong, and then he'll catch the second shot from Philip Wong and hang on for a whistle. Wong scoring the first goal of the season for Mississippi last weekend in Wytheville. Jackson Bond, the hero of the last game for Mississippi, wearing number 23, was the one who sent it across right off the faceoff. Here are the Prowlers coming out. Now Jay collects, tried to give it to Picard. They couldn't link up. Here's Costello on for Wong, over to Bonds, kind of handcuffed him with that pass. Then Bond taken into the wall by Matt Stoya. Parsons turns the corner, heads up ice. His pass was in Jay's feet. Both teams in the midst of changes. Picard in on the forecheck causes a turnover, takes the shot from the outside, and off the chest and knocked down by Joseph Shepard. 3.5 gone in period number 1. No score yet between the Prowlers and the Seawolves. Shots on goal right now, 3-3. All even. Sam Merritt and Lucas Helland in the face-off circle, and Helland wins it back cleanly. Merritt looked like he had a word with the linesman after that puck drop, but play continues as Foley holds at the red line, feeds Federley. Prowler's still looking for the zone entry, and they'll get it on the soft dump. Foley put it to the crease. Merritt was right there, but Shepard quickly able to get the glove on top as Russell was tying up Sam Merritt. Another offensive zone faceoff for the Prowlers. Now we see the first of Phil Buschbacher, the extra forward tonight on the Prowlers lineup. He'll be taking Tristan Sims' spot on this shift with Matt Graham and Vinny DeCumbis. They dig away on the near side boards. DeCumbis couldn't poke it out. Now Johnson across to Graham, tipped along, and Buschbacher takes his man into the wall. Graham back to DeCumbis. Tried to return feed, hit Russell. Quick shot from the outside, steered away by Shepard. Heinzel at the point, Wines fires, blocked by Koch. Second try was going high and wide, but Shepard reaches out with the glove to hang on for a whistle. 15:29 left to go in a scoreless opening period here at McMorran Place. Joe Pace back out there for Mississippi. Lining up on the wall along with Dalton Jay, longtime teammates here in Port Huron. Jay gets to the puck ahead of Pace, but he was down on the ice. Bond tips it along. Here's Leorakos, 1-on-3, working on Young. Backhander from the outside, knocked down by Wallace. He'll gather it in for a whistle, and flying in with a little snow shower was Bond. He'll take a shove from Braden Deck. Nothing more coming from that, except a face-off to Wallace's right between Helland and Anderson. Young able to move it up the boards, poke to the point. Pace wrists it through, right into the catching glove of Wallace, who will hang on. Wallace is Pace's former goaltender, one of his former goaltenders from last season. Traded there from Port Huron in November last year. Spent some time in Mississippi, some time in Binghamton and Elmira. Ended up finding his way back to Port Huron for the end of last season. Then he had another journey back to Port Huron this offseason, selected by the Blue Ridge Bobcats in the expansion draft, released, and then signed back here during training camp, and he's been the Prowlers starting goaltender for the first now 3 games of the season. Parsons gets into offensive territory, finds Federle, sets it down low, and Shepard scoops it up, and he'll hang on for a whistle. We'll take a timeout, 14:33 to go in period 1. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people. They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
You might not realize it, but tonight, you made a difference. Tonight, you ordered a little love, hope, and pizza. Because even though you just ordered a pizza for dinner, that one little purchase helps make a big difference. For every pizza purchased in the month of October, Hungry Howie's will make a donation to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, all on our way to raising $5 million. So this time, you didn't just order pizza. You ordered a little love, hope, and pizza.
Hungry Howie's!
Back here at McMorran Place, they just showed a tribute video for Joe Pace here on the video wall at McMorran Place. A nice moment for him this weekend. Again, returning to McMorran for the very first time. And the fans and the players giving him a nice round of applause and a tribute for his hard work and his time putting this team together and keeping them going in Port Huron, now in Season 9, and that certainly doesn't happen without the work of one Joe Pace. Stoya dumped it in. Now Merritt in on the forecheck, finds that puck. Federle couldn't feed the slot. Now Federle got a poke on below the goal line. It ended up coming towards Shepard. He clamps the glove on top. 14-12 now to go in period 1. Neither team able to get a goal yet, and this is kind of reminiscent of Prowlers last weekend. A little bit of a feeling out process, especially in the first game. As Heinzel had one deflected. I think that was Graham right in front of the net. Got a tip on that shot, just slid wide. Almost made me eat my words there. Shepard out to play it away from DeCumbus, who was going to beat the icing anyway. Prowlers kept it in momentarily. Now Nilsson sent it across. Leorakos comes back for it. Little flip into Prowler territory, and Heinzel takes it behind his own cage, reverses this side to Graham. DeCumbus played it around Leorakos, gets it back to Graham. Taken away at center, puck bouncing around. Leorakos down on a knee, takes possession, played it into his own teammate's skates. Now Graham tried to touch it back for Jay, who was fresh off the bench. That didn't work. Jay gets in the way of a cross-ice feed. And Deck taken hard into the wall by... that was Koch. Jay ripped a shot that went wide. Here's Cole Lind. Up and down action. Lind trying to dangle past Deck. And the puck rolls to Wallace, who clamps the glove down for a whistle. Getting a little bit wide open here at McMorran Place as the Prowlers and Seawolves search for the first goal of the game. Anderson and Helland in on the draw to Wallace's left, and Stoya quickly sent it out. Jay and Pace chasing after it. Jay wins that race to negate the icing. Picard now around for Jay. Tried to wheel it in front off the side of the cage. There's Stoya back at center. Sent it across. Wong fresh off the bench. Gives it to Pace. Quickly up looking for a teammate. Instead, it goes all the way through and down for icing against the Seawolves. That was Danny Licio he was looking for. Spent last season in Sweden's 3rd division with Osby IK. 16 points, 10 goals in 12 games for him. He was in the SPHL the season before that. Now back in North America, playing for the Seawolves, and he dumps it in and heads off for a change. Turner from the line, juggled by Wallace, and he'll get on top of it for another face-off. Third team in the FBHL for Sam Turner. Part of the Seawolves last year, has also played for Binghamton and Danville in his FBHL career. Here's Bond. Trying to spin away from Adam Heinzel, comes out in front, sent it all the way across the crease. And a good stick there from Merritt to get it before Wong, who has the puck now. Up high comes to Turner, floats it down low. Wallace sliding all the way out to glove it. He'll head back to his crease so he can get a whistle. With 11:43 to go in the period. Now Bond and Heinzel having some words. Linesman stepping in between them. And those two will head to the box. Linesmen tonight are Scott Gillespie and Mark Jackson. The referees, Kevin Mallon and Steve Gowdy. And Steve Gowdy, the one making the call. As those two will sit in the box 4-2 apiece. And we will have 4-on-4 action. As Graham and Leorakos get set to draw. Young holds it in the corner. Gives it up to Graham. Has DeCumbus with him. Off the boards looking for him. He'll skate towards it with Ethan Bush Anderson. Now Graham rims it around to Deck. Seawolves come back up the ice. Comes all the way across. Leorakos in front. Save, rebound. Another save from Ian Wallace in the splits, and he robs Hugo Koch with the glove on the second opportunity as well. Big saves from Ian Wallace. Keeps us scoreless. Minute 32 to go in the 4-on-4 after the matching delay of game penalties to Adam Heinzel and Jackson Bond. Stoya took a hard hit from Leorakos. Meanwhile, the Prowlers move up ice with the puck. It's Merritt leading the charge. Drops it for Sim. Sim all the way around the cage. Out high to Stoya. Walks, fires. That hit Bush Anderson, knocked down. And Ethan Bush Anderson able to send it around towards Leorakos. Prowlers take it back momentarily. Now Leorakos with a flip up ice. Sim settles it down for Parsons. Prowlers making a change. Here's Stoya entering offensive territory, but Merritt a half stride ahead. Offsides the call. 44 seconds left to go in the 4-on-4. 10:27 up on the big board. Here at McMorran Place, still no score. Played back to Young. Off the face-off. Young, couple of nice moves. Gets in, fires off the stick of Russell. And over the protective netting, out of play. But the slick stick handling of Dalton Young that we've seen over these first couple of weeks. Saw it in the exhibition game 2 weeks ago and then a few times last weekend. That's something, certainly a skill that he possesses. Almost had a highlight reel goal there. Puck sits there at the dot. Comes to the boards. Lambert wheels it around for Russell. Now Young at the point. Puck bouncing to the far side corner. Federley comes into the scrum to find it. Now Federley again. Up high Johnson. D to D Young. Tried to send it towards the net. Off the stick of Nilsson, who played it from his feet to his stick. He dumps it in. Young curling away from Helland. Nilsson picks up the puck. Russell all the way down low. We're back to 5-on-5 as Bond and Heinzel step out of the box. Comes right to Heinzel. He takes a check from Bond. Now DeCumbis has a man with him. DeCumbis across! And Johnson swung and missed. But a penalty is coming up. Slashing is the call. And the Prowlers will go to their first quality power play of the night. And I wonder how many times Alex Johnson is going to see that play in his nightmares tonight. We'll get that power play when we come back. No score between the Prowlers and the Sea Wolves. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
It's time for a Prowlers quality power play here at McMorran Place, their first of the night, as they look to break the scoreless tie. Power play for the Prowlers ranking third in the FPHL at 28.6%. The PK for Mississippi is fourth in the league at 89.5%. Of course, small sample sizes for both through one weekend of play. Prowlers sending out the unit with Sam Merritt, who has a power play goal so far this season. Scored one in the Prowlers' last game. Brandon Picard back on this unit. He was replaced by David Gaeta in the last game in the lineup and on this power play unit. And Gaeta did score a power play goal in that last game as Stoya jumps to knock it down with his glove. Johnson wrist shot was blocked. And now Johnson in a foot race with Bond for the puck. And Bond will just stick handle and get it down deep. 30 seconds gone in the first power play for the Prowlers. Merritt up the left wing side. Sent it towards the middle of the ice. Hopped over to Cumbis' stick. And Leah Rockos sends it the length of the sheet. Leah Rockos had a shorty last weekend against Blue Ridge. It was the tying goal in their second game late in the second period, in a game that ended up going to overtime. Picard walks up high, takes it, score! Brandon Picard off a stick in front gives the Prowlers a 1-0 lead. And it looked like it hit a Seawolf stick on the way through. I didn't see any Prowlers in the vicinity of where that shot went by, but it fooled Joseph Shepard as it ended up going the other direction, and Brandon Picard has his second of the year. And Brandon Picard is still a goal per game guy, 2 goals in 2 games so far this season. And the Prowlers, for the third straight game, take the 1-0 lead, scoring the first goal. Here's Leah Rockos playing it off the wall. It's Koch, turned on net and blocked it away by Wallace. giving DeCumbus and Ian Wallace credit for the assist. Here's Graham back in, looking for Bushbacher. They couldn't connect. So how about that? The goalie with an assist on that goal. Here's Graham in tight, looking for more. They score! Tristan Sims, first as a pro. 2-0 Port Huron. A couple of quick ones for the Prowlers, as that is 2 goals in about 40 seconds if my math is correct. It's 2-0, and add Tristan Sim to the list of guys who have gotten their first pro goals this season. 7:49 to go in period number 1. Prowlers looking for some more as Federley missed that top corner by a little bit high and wide. If I'm being honest, it was a good bit that he missed by. Bond knocked it down, but with a high stick, so he can't be the next to touch it. Stoya does, so play can continue. And now Prowlers are actually going to get a penalty as Bond's helmet was knocked off. Prowlers started moving up the other direction with the puck, and the whistle was delayed. And now Parsons and Bond getting into it. Stoya the one who's going to sit in the box. And now the Seawolves with an opportunity to get on the scoreboard with their power play that didn't score at all last weekend. They were 0-for against the Bobcats. The Prowlers will send the True Balance penalty kill out, working at an even 70%. That is 9th in the FPHL. And now they're trying to decide where they want the face-off. The Seawolves aren't allowed to select where to put the face-off to start the power play, and they decide on the far side. So Seawolves with their first power play, looking for their first power play goal of the season. As Leo Rocco's on the one-timer, hits Wallace and goes wide. Parsons got it just through the Turner at the point. So the Seawolves will have to reset. It's Turner, Leo Rocco's, Wong, Costello, and Koch. Leo Rocco's across looking for Costello. And that one didn't connect. Graham and Young picking up the assists. That got through. Puck sits there at the crease, and Wallace able to find it and cover up. So it's Sim from Graham and Young. At 12-11, the 2-0 goal for the Prowlers. And then Matt Stoya officially for roughing. As where he sits in the box for another minute 17. Turner cycling it down low to Costello. Gets to the middle of the ice. Heinzel got down to block it, and it's batted behind the net. Costello back on it. And now Turner with Young on him. Young gets their backhand try, shouldered away by Shepard. Dalton Young almost snuck right up on Turner. He got a good shot away. Shepard was ready, though. Koch turns away from Johnson. Sauces it across to Bush Anderson. Tried to feed it down low, knocked away. Helland to Leo Rocco's, back to Helland. Leo Rocco's again. Has Bush Anderson waiting for the one-timer. Was it in the wheelhouse? He'll take it this time. It's blocked by DeCumbus. Johnson off the wall, bounces past Leo Rocco's. Goes back to Mississippi ice. 18 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Seawolves. Helland curls back. Now Parsons shuffles it along. Johnson finds Graham. He sends it the length of the sheet, and that should take care of the final 5 seconds of this Seawolves power play as Stoya steps out of the box. Bond dancing his way through center. Caught the back glass with that shot. Now Helland back to Bush Anderson. And they'll reset with Connor Lind. Bond sends it in. Seawolves in the midst of a change. Only have 2 guys on the ice. Now they only have 4. Mississippi playing short a player voluntarily right now. Prowlers will try and take advantage, and now Wong steps off the bench. Here's Parsons trying to get through everyone. Got to the forehand, and he drew a penalty as he got a good shot from his stomach. Tripping is the call, and the Prowlers will go right back to the power play when we come back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here at McMorran Place, it's time for a quality power play as the Prowlers go back to the man advantage. They are 1 for 1 on the power play tonight, and they send the unit that scored back out there, led by Vinny DeCumbus over there on the right wing, but they'll have to chase to start this power play. Connor Lind, 2 minutes for tripping is the official call. Now Johnson, Leorakos getting into it at center. Leorakos just chopped Johnson's stick in half, and he's going to get a penalty. Prowlers will go on a 5-on-3 as soon as Mississippi touches it, and they're going to let the Seawolves touch it. So it will be a 5-on-3 for the Prowlers for 1 minute and 38 seconds as Yanni Leorakos goes to the box. Alex Johnson will have to grab a new lumber there on the bench. And he'll actually stay on the bench as the Prowlers switch units up. They have Graham, Jay, Sim, Foley, and Federley out there for this 5-on-3 to begin. Federley able to keep it in at the point. Graham across, that hit a body and went right on net. Prowlers back in control. Federley at the top. Down low, looking for Graham. He got it on net. Shepard came up with the save. Touched across to Jay. Head up. Minute 10 left on the 5-on-3. Foley. Down to Graham. Into the slot. Score! Tristan Sim again! 3-0 Prowlers. Sim has his second. Prowlers will remain on the power play for the next minute and 26 seconds. The new guys showing up tonight offensively for Port Huron. Sim did score a power play goal in the exhibition game for the Prowlers 2 weeks ago against Motor City. That's his first real official power play goal of his career. All Port Huron in this period, at least on the scoreboard. Although Ian Wallace has had to make some big saves at the other end, and he'll have to make another one on this breakaway. Costello off the post, and they say it went in. It hit the post, hit the back of Wallace, and then bounced back towards the cage. And Mississippi, with a shorthanded goal, their second of the season, gets on the board. We're getting goals upon goals here in the first period. We'll see who they credit that one to. I believe it should be Costello, as the referee was pointing at the net before it was banged in. But I believe it was Helland who was following up the play. And if it is Costello, it's his third goal of the season. And again, the Seawolves' second shorthanded goal of the year, and the first allowed by the Port Huron Prowlers. Here's Wong sending it all the way across. 40 seconds left on the man advantage for Port Huron. Graham with the puck. Gives it to Jay, fed across. Foley able to control. Now gives to Sim. Prowlers bunched up on the near side. Graham knocks it down. Comes to Jay. Winds and fires. Getting down to block it was Wong. And now Shepard down in his crease. And a penalty coming to Graham. And now Lind drops the mitts with Matt Graham. They're tied up now. Lind getting a few shots in. Graham wrestles Lind down to a knee. And Lind with one more shot after the linesman got involved. And looked like Graham had a little bit of contact with Shepard. And Shepard fell down to the ice. And they were going to call Matt Graham originally. But after picking up his second assist of the night on Tristan Sims' goal, Matt Graham will head to the box, get 5 for fighting. There's 16 seconds left on Leorakos' penalty. And I believe Graham again did get a penalty that will even things up. We'll find out. While we're waiting, officially Tristan Sim from Matt Graham and Evan Foley at 16:10, and then 20 seconds later, Chuck Costello from Kyle Russell cut the deficit to 2 goals for the Mississippi Seawolves, as Philip Wong and Austin Federley get the explanations. Nothing up on the board yet here. 2:40 left to go in period number 1. It's been a good one offensively for the Prowlers. Their 3-goal outburst in this frame is now the most goals they've scored in any game this season. Of course, again, it's still early. Only game number 3, but they were only able to get 2 goals in each game last year, and I saw Austin Federley signaling 5-on-4 to his bench. So Lind may have evened this one up. Although I do see 4 Prowlers heading out there. Now 5. It looks like it is still 5-on-4. So once the penalties come down, we will let you know. But Prowlers do catch a break there as they are evened up. And see Graham for goalie interference, and Lind gets an instigator. And that evens it up. So the Prowlers on the power play for the last 10 seconds of Leorakos' penalty. Foley sent it towards the slot. It bounces out, and that will take care of the penalty to Leorakos. But the Prowlers do get the 5-on-3 goal that made it 3-1. Mississippi did get a shorthanded goal, though, at 5-on-4. Foley slid that one on the ice and wide. Wong chips it past Johnson. Now on to Bond. Back to Wong. Took a hit from Foley. And Evan Foley back with the puck. Up to Federley. Backhands it down to Mississippi ice. It won't have the legs for icing on this torn up sheet of ice with under 2 minutes to go in period 1. So Bush Anderson plays it up to Turner. Wheeling up the left wing side, chased by Picard. Now Turner to the slot, looking for a man. He found one, and a kick save and a beauty from Wallace. Another one, but then Koch able to slip it through on the rebound. Hugo Koch gets Mississippi back within 1 with 1:33 to go in period 1. And for Koch, that's his second goal of the season. Played his entire career in Sweden before this season. Now with his 4th point of the year. Koch chipping on by, but Young able to get a stick on it. Seawolves kept it in, though. Deck takes his man to the ice. Leo Rocco's trying to kick it through. Anderson there as well for the Prowlers. Young pulls it out. Deck off the boards. Picard touches it deep. And Turner gets it there. We hit the final minute of play here in period 1 as Nilsson had it taken off his stick. Leo Rocco's, though, on the turnover. Backhander down low. They score. It's Joachim Nilsson in his first game as a Seawolf, first game outside of his native Sweden. And just like that, we have a tied hockey game. And the final minute goals were a thing that plagued the Prowlers a ton last season. And it looks like it's biting them here near the end of period 1 as they had a 3-0 lead in this frame. Maybe they'll have the lead. Here's Foley back in. Off the post. Buschbacher cleans it up. 6 seconds later, back on top are the Prowlers. It's Phil Buschbacher's first with Port Huron. It's a barn burner at McMorran Place. Phil Buschbacher, who's played in 11 different leagues in his pro career, has his first goal in the FPHL. As Evan Foley got the turnover, found himself all alone. There was going to be a penalty. And his original shot got through Shepard, hit the post, and Phil Buschbacher right on the spot got the rebound. Looked like Merritt just saved a goal there as Danny Licio was looking for that loose puck in the crease. 23 seconds left to go in period 1. And nothing is safe until the final buzzers. Foley took that dump attempt up high. Prowlers trying it back up ice. Here's Merritt with 10. Merritt working around pace in front. Popped up in the air. Sim tried to put it back on net. Comes to center. Parsons played it. And we'll get a whistle with 0.3 on the clock. And now Parsons getting into a shoving match. 3 Seawolves over there. Now Buschbacher comes in to help out his guy. Buschbacher's lost his helmet. Again, 0.3 of a second left on the clock, and now Parsons and Helland are getting well acquainted with linesmen in between. Now Pinkowski with another shove for Brian Parsons. Richard Pinkowski is hot with Parsons. I don't think he liked the fact that Parsons shot that puck. Puck was up in the air, and it is possible that Parsons thought that the puck could have still been in, or maybe could have been called still in. He just wanted to get it on net in the final seconds. They have a Prowlers power play up on the board. Helland is the only man heading to the box out of that scrum. So we will have a Prowlers power play, which in no likelihood will end in this period. 0.3 of a second. Prowlers need to get a 5th man out. Dalton Anderson will take the faceoff against Leo Rockos. Leo Rockos wins it, and that's going to do it for 20 minutes of play here at McMorran Place, with the Prowlers leading the Mississippi Seawolves by a score of 4-3. Shots on goal in that opening period, 16 for Mississippi, 13 for the Prowlers. We saw plenty of goals and plenty of rough stuff, and we'll get a break from all that, but we will show you some more goals and more highlights on the Continental Catch-Up coming up in this intermission. All the news and highlights from the past week around the Continental Division. So much to go over, so stay tuned for that. We'll also check out storylines around the entire league. And all that coming up in the first intermission. Well, get your gear for the new season at the Prowlers team store. Store features shirts, hats, decorations, and more with new items coming in throughout the season. Come find us on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can also scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online shop. Look your po-ho best with gear from the Prowlers team store. A 7-goal first period from the Seawolves and the Prowlers. We have 2 more coming up, but first, a quick break for intermission. We'll be back shortly with the Continental Catch-Up here on the PHP Network.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
You might not realize it, but tonight you made a difference. Tonight you ordered a little love, hope, and pizza. Because even though you just ordered a pizza for dinner, that one little purchase helps make a big difference. For every pizza purchased in the month of October, Hungry Howie's will make a donation to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, all on our way to raising $5 million. So this time you didn't just order pizza. You ordered a little love, hope, and pizza.
Hungry Howie's!
Seawolves winning the face-off. And we score! Philip Wong with the score.
Seawolves shoot and score. Do apologize, I couldn't see the play coming here on the feed. Referee's hand pointed towards the net, and your Seawolves are celebrating.
Brought down Vasilov. He's out. Heavy pressure from Joe Pace. We'll see French with the shot there! And Bryce French gonna take the first goal of the Bobcats season! Five-on-three opportunity for 20 seconds. Let's see what the Bobcats can do. One-timer there, Vasilov.
Oh.
No. Just a little bit high there. We pulled back Grandquist. Tattern. They'll try this one again! And there you go! The Bobcats, for the first time in history, lead the Mississippi Seawolves!
Taken away by the Seawolves. Seawolves shoots, skating down the side. Takes a shot, tripped up on the play. There's a penalty coming. Jackson Bond coming in on the breakaway, and he will receive a penalty shot. Referee blows the whistle. Jackson Bond taking the puck over center ice down the right wing. Skating up, going for a deke. Jackson Bond taking the pot, takes a shot. He shoots. He scores! Seawolves win in overtime! Jackson Bond with the penalty shot winner.
Picard stops up on Kowash into offensive territory, scores! Brandon Picard, first as a pro, rips it right over the catching glove of Trevor Babin, and the Prowlers have a 1-0 lead. Picard looking for Federley, comes back in onside, and Kowash scores. Leaves it for DeCumbus. Up high comes to Stoya. Cross to Johnson. One-timer save. Rebound. Score! It's David Gaeta. His first as a Prowler on the power play. 1-0 Port Huron. Miguel Diaz has Makima with him. Takes the shot and he scores.
come the Zydeco. 2-on-1 here. They can hurry again with speed.
Let's get that shot on. There it is. There it is. That's all you needed, just a shot.
Fed across, Balkwill looking in front, wrist shot, score! That one is tipped in front again. I think Wickline, another deflection through the wickets on Hardy, and if so, that is the hat trick for Cody Wickline.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PHProwlers, and Twitter at PHProwlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Back here at McMorran Place, the first intermission is wrapping up, and the Prowlers have a 4-3 lead over the Mississippi Seawolves. Will Wiggleman back with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And before we get back to this game, let's take a look around the FPHL at our out-of-town scoreboard. And right now in the second period, the Watertown Wolves and Binghamton Black Bears are locked in battle in Binghamton. 3-3 is the score right now. They've been going back and forth all night long in the first and second periods. That one, again, 3-3 in period 2. In the first period in Danbury, it is a 1-1 game between the Carolina Thunderbirds and the Danbury Hat-Tricks as they, again, approach the end of the opening 20 minutes. This is Carolina's first game of the season and first time back to Danbury since losing the Commissioner's Cup final in May. Down the road in Fraser, the Blue Ridge Bobcats have a 2-1 lead on the Motor City Rockers in the first intermission. All three of those goals coming in the final 4 minutes of the opening frame. but it is the Bobcats with a 2-1 lead, still searching for that first victory in franchise history. Another team searching for the first victory in franchise history, the Baton Rouge Zydeco. They host the Columbus River Dragons for the second straight night. That one starts at 8:30 Eastern. Take a look at some storylines around the FPHL, and we'll go back to that Baton Rouge and Columbus matchup as the River Dragons beat the Zydeco 6-3 last night. A dominating performance for Columbus. The Dragons were out shooting the Zydeco 40-10 through 2 periods of play. Ended up putting 50 shots on net in that game. So Baton Rouge looking for a bounce-back performance tonight in game number 2 at the Raising Cane's River Center. They do have MJ Graham, the former Columbus River Dragon. He won the Ignite Cup, which was the FPHL's championship trophy in 2020-21 as a member of the River Dragons. He signed in Baton Rouge, should be a leader in the locker room there as a veteran player. MJ Graham, the new member of the Baton Rouge Zydeco, one of the many new members, as you heard in the Continental Catch-Up, many new members of the Zydeco this week. Back to Danbury, Michael Marchison was loaned to the ECHL, to the Atlanta Gladiators. Of course, well known for scoring the cup-winning goal last season in overtime of Game 5 against the Carolina Thunderbirds. That makes it 2 seasons in a row that we have seen the cup-winning goal come in overtime. Turning our attention back to our game here at McMorran Place, it was a barn burner of an opening period. 4-3 our score right now. But for the Prowlers, a tough last few minutes. Go up 3-0 with under 4 minutes to play in the period on Tristan Sims' power play goal, his second of the night. He scored his first pro goal a little while early, just 4 minutes before that. But then Mississippi scored 3 times, including 2 goals in 39 seconds. And that all came within the final 2 minutes. Those 2 goals in 39 seconds came within the final 2 minutes of the opening period. Phil Buschbacher did get one back for the Prowlers 6 seconds after Mississippi tied things up at 3. But it was a wild first period, and certainly the Prowlers hoping that they can hold the lead a little bit better tonight than they did against the Motor City Rockers, as they had some trouble with the lead against Motor City. 2 comeback victories for the Rockers last weekend. Of course, the penalty minute totals up there, 17 for Mississippi, 11 for Port Huron in that opening frame. Prowlers will start this second period on the man advantage. Mississippi 0 for 1 right now on the power play, and the Prowlers right now 2 for 3, and they're on their 4th official power play of the game as they take the ice for period number 2. And stepping back into the box will be Lucas Helland, who received a 2-minute roughing minor with 0.3 of a second left in the opening frame, as Brian Parsons was tied up with a few Seawolves over on the near side wall after a last-second shot. And Helland is the guy who was selected and taken to the box. Right now they have 1:55 seconds up on the penalty clock. Should be 1:59 up on the clock. But lots of craziness in the opening period, so much entertainment, and we're happy to take you through it here on the PHP Network as we get set to drop the puck on the Hungry Howie's second period. I believe they're trying to figure out the clock situation here. Prowlers right now have the unit of Merritt, Decumbus, Stoya, Picard, and Johnson. And they They scored the first goal of the game on the power play. That belonged to Picard. A shot from the point that hit a Mississippi stick on the way through and beat Joseph Shepard. Seawolves will counter with Leah Rocco's coach, Bush Anderson, and Sam Turner to kill off the penalty. And we are just about set to get underway in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers trying to extend this one-goal lead and continue their hot start on the power play. Again, coming into tonight, third in the FPHL, and of course the power play numbers in the FPHL can be skewed a little bit depending on how the power plays are totaled up. Sometimes you see power plays given out for fighting majors when it doesn't actually affect on-ice manpower, but sometimes on the game sheets it does go down as a power play. But either way, pretty decent indicator of your power play as Merritt rims it around. We, of course, count those things out by hand here, which is why we had 2 for 3 for the Prowlers, as Wallace forced to cover up from an oncoming Hugo Koch, who has a goal in tonight's game. "17 seconds gone in period 2. Merritt and Leah Rockos in for a rare defensive zone face-off on a power play for the Prowlers. Puck kicked around in the crease. Leah Rockos and Stoya took each other down. Decumbus took the puck, and here come the Prowlers with speed. Picard lost it in his feet, and now Wong one-on-one with Stoya. Pulls up, waits for help, drops it to Koch, all the way across looking for Turner. Now the Prowlers looking to counter, but overskating it was Picard on the boards. Wong in there causing havoc. And now Johnson will slow things down. Port Huron will switch up the power play unit. Flowing up to Phil Bushbacher, in with Foley. Takes the outside shot. Rebound given up by Shepard, but nobody there for the Prowlers as they were in the midst of a change. Bushbacher this time rims it around. Foley picks up the puck, cycles it deep. Sim floated it to the point. Jay able to knock it down low. Bushbacher across, sits in the crease and pushed wide by Foley. Sim was there on the back door. That's who Bushbacher was looking for. As Sim looking for the hat trick goal. He has it again. Feeds the slot to Foley. Kicked back to Federley. 18 seconds left on the Prowlers. Power play and they score! I think Bushbacher got a touch on it as Jay sent the shot through. It's a third power play goal of the night and a second goal for Phil Bushbacher. 5-3 Prowlers. Dalton Jay sent it down low through traffic. Bushbacher was set up right on the side of the crease, and it hit his stick perfectly. He's able to direct it in. Prowlers power play putting in some work tonight. 3 man advantage goals for Port Huron. They have a 5-3 lead now early on in the second period. Bushbacher's actually set up right on the top of the crease. Screening the netminder, using his big frame and using his soft touch to get a stick on that puck. Now 2 Prowlers on hat trick watch. Bushbacher and Sim, who both have 2 goals so far tonight. They give Dalton Jay and Austin Federley credit on the assists. Make it 4 Prowlers with multi-point games tonight. Evan Foley and Matt Graham with 2 helpers each. Ian Wallace even getting in on the offensive side. He was credited with an assist on one of the goals earlier tonight. That was Brandon Picard's goal, the opening goal of the game. Foley almost stopped up that puck on the wall. Now he has it back. Here he comes, cutting to the middle of the ice. Couldn't get it on net. Stoya, cross to Parsons, touches it deep. Helland, around, off the wall, and now Stoya has to chase after it. Hassled by Licio, took a bump from Pinkowski. The Prowlers move up ice. Bushbacher cross looking for Stoya. It was poked away by Licio. Turner. Back over to Danny Licio. His pass off the skate of Pinkowski at center. Stoya long lead feed up for Foley. That hit a Mississippi stick, so icing waved off. Port Huron gets a change in. Knocked down at the Prowlers line. Parsons had it chopped up in the air. Settles down on Nilsson's stick. Couldn't get a shot away. And now Anderson skates into the loose puck. Over to Picard, put it on net. And that knuckled into the catching glove of Joseph Shepard. Tough to send in a one-timer from that side as a left-hander. Prowlers will get an offensive zone face-off, still up 5-3. Just a little over 3 minutes into period 2. Bush Anderson, hassled by Sim, up to Koch, rink-wide feed on for Leorakos. Wallace steers it away as it went through the crease. Leorakos again. Out high to Turner. D to Bush Anderson. Kicked it away. 2-on-2 rush the other direction. DeCumbus to the trailer. Heinzel! And steered away by Shepard. Adam Heinzel hustling up ice into the play. Got a good shot up there. DeCumbus couldn't center. Bush Anderson found it. Now Leorakos across looking for Koch. He and Young bump. Behind the net, Deck comes in to assist. Now Young played it into some space, able to poke it ahead himself. Here's Sim turning, looking for a pass. Instead, he gives it away to Costello. And now Bushbacher right back into Mississippi territory. Merritt off the turnover. Played it into an area. Bushbacher couldn't catch up to it. Leorakos speeds it all the way across, off the wall. First to skate into it is Sam Merritt. On for Foley. And a late offsides call by the linesman. And that will stop that rush. 15:26 left to go in period 2. So we'll have a face-off just outside of the Seawolves' end. And it looks like Matt Graham and Connor Lind out of their respective penalty boxes after their fight. That fight, the first mitts dropping of the year for the Prowlers. We had a close call when Austin Federley tried to go with Ryan Rotundi last week, but it takes 2 to tango, and Rotundi wasn't up for the challenge. Of course, those guys know each other very well, Rotundi and Federley. Federley actually attending Rotundi's wedding this offseason. Here's Bond. Down low, whips it out in front, comes all the way to the point. Wrist shot from there. Wong trying to chop at it in the slot. And finally it gets through to Wallace, who's able to cover up. The original shot from Russell didn't get all the way through the traffic and was bouncing there in the face-off circle, and Wong tried to turn around attempt. That wouldn't go. Wong and Anderson in the face-off circle. Both teams leaning heavy on the inside, lining up their wingers. The Prowlers able to get it out. Almost out. Now Johnson skates it to neutral ice. He backhands it in. Puck bouncing around. Anderson just whipped that. I think that hit a piece of Shepard and comes all the way back to Prowler ice. That puck was on edge as it bounced off the wall. Now Jay lifts his stick, sends it across, looking for his Dalton Friend Anderson, but another two of three Daltons on this Prowlers team. Johnson knocked down. Puck underneath him. They dig away. And now Licio feeding it across, looking for Helland. And now up high, Joe Pace. Back to Helland. Across, wrist shot steered away by Wallace. Here's Helland. Takes a hit from Heinzel. And now we have multiple players going to the box. I think Heinzel was originally the only one. May have gotten his free hand around Helland. That's where the referee was looking, but then Johnson got knocked down in front of the crease, and the referee pointed to his Seawolf. So Mississippi may have just negated their own power play for the second time, and it's Richard Pinkowski heading to the box. We'll get it all sorted out when we come back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people. They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
You might not realize it, but tonight, you made a difference. Tonight, you ordered a little love, hope, and pizza. Because even though you just ordered a pizza for dinner, that one little purchase helps make a big difference. For every pizza purchased in the month of October, Hungry Howie's will make a donation to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, all on our way to raising $5 million. So this time, you didn't just order pizza. You ordered a little love, hope, and pizza.
Hungry Howie's.
Back here at McMorran Place, 14:01 to go in the second period. And it's actually going to be a 4-minute power play for the Prowlers because it's 2 minors to Richard Pinkowski, 2 for roughing, 2 for cross-checking. So I apologize to Adam Heinzel, who I thought was going to the box originally. I'm sure he'll let me hear it later about that. But either way, Prowlers with 4 minutes on the man advantage and a chance to extend the lead. Federley down low to Graham. Oh, cross looking for Jay. Bounces to Foley. 5 forwards on this power play for the Prowlers. As Federley winds, fakes. He switches spots with Foley. Graham, Jay, and Sim joining them on this man advantage as Sim jumped up with the glove, knocked it down. Federley towards the net. Taken away by Bush Anderson, sends Leo Rockos in. Has Koch with him, feeds it there, and Federley just got a stick on Koch to keep him from getting a good shot on Wallace, but Ian Wallace did still have to make a save. Leo Rockos down on the puck, and the referee will blow the whistle, and they're pointing all the way down the ice. So Yanni Leo Rockos gets a stoppage of play deep in Prowler territory, but the faceoff will come outside the blue line. Joe Pace having a word with one of the referees. Port Huron switching units. They send out Sam Merritt's unit out against Philip Wong to take this faceoff. Stoya backs up. Again, plenty of time for the Prowlers on this power play. 3:10 up on the man advantage timer. Seawolves able to get another clear. Now Johnson hassled at center. And they clear again to neutral ice. Picard will skate it in himself. Brandon Picard over to Merritt. Circles the net. Prowlers set up. Johnson, Stoya, one-timer. Deflected wide off a stick. I think that was Bond that got a piece of it. And then comes to Shepard. And he'll clamp the glove on top for a whistle. 2:33 left in the power play for the Prowlers. 12:34 to go in period number 2. Port Huron switching back to the unit led by Matt Graham, and again 5 forwards on this unit this time out, with Frank Schumacher not in the lineup this weekend. This would be his regular unit. Sim to the point to Federley. All the way across to Jay. Down low, Graham. Looking to go backdoor to Sim. That was blocked. Federley up high again. To Sim. Steps in, fires, and he just missed it high. Sim and Leorakos get there together. Graham digs the puck loose. Jay towards the net. Missed wide. 1 penalty down, 1 to go for Mississippi. Minute 55 left on the man advantage. Graham across looking for Jay. Still got a piece of it. Hit the outside of the post. Graham back in front looking for Foley. Couldn't get his stick down in time. Jay on that rebound. What a save by Shepard. And then another shot pushed wide as Joseph Shepard robs Austin Federley coming down the backside. Here's Federley with 1:28 to go on the man advantage, taken away by Koch. Out high to Bush Anderson. Mississippi down a man, controlling the puck. Helland spinning away from Federley. Lucas Helland. Tired Prowlers out there. This unit needs a change. Mississippi's been able to get a change. And Merritt, one of the guys fresh off the bench, will take the puck. The other 4 head off, and Merritt takes a hit from Helland. Foley comes back to disrupt and take the puck back. 50 seconds left on the Prowlers' power plays. They regain control, and they'll skate in. It's Picard. Stoya. Head up. Tried to feed it down low. Is knocked down. Comes to Shepard, and he'll cover up for a whistle. And that's about as good for the Prowlers as it is for the Seawolves to get a whistle and reset. 10:36 to go in period 2. 35 seconds left on the second minor penalty to Richard Pinkowski. Prowlers have 2 shots on this man advantage so far. Now it's Cumbus able to kick it along. Pops up in the air. Merritt to Picard, right back. Stoya walks the line over to Johnson, the one-timer. Missed wide by a couple of feet. Bounces all the way down. Bond picks it up first. Stoya able to knock it away. Final 10 seconds ticking off the Prowlers' power plays. Johnson played it off of Wong's skate. Port Huron moving up ice as we're back to 5-on-5, and that puck tipped right out of play. And we will get a whistle and a timeout. 9:57 to go in period number 2. Prowlers up by 2. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here at McMorran Place, 9:57 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. Prowlers with a 5-3 lead, although they just were unable to score on a 4-minute double minor taken by Richard Pinkowski. They got some opportunities in the first half of that double minor, but then Mississippi was controlling the puck in Prowlers territory. Port Huron struggled to get it out of their own end and struggled to get into the offensive side in the second half of that power play. They do have 3 power play goals tonight, so I guess you can afford a dud when you're scoring at a clip like that on the man advantage. Comes back to Parsons at the point. He'll one-hand it along. Bushbacher towards the net, deflected by Sim. Then knocked to the corner. Graham up high. Parsons got through, steered away by Shepard. Heinzel from the wall. That one was blocked. Here's Bushbacher. Turning away from a now stickless Russell to Heinzel. Couldn't get the shot away. Now Costello starts a rush. Here's Bond up the left wing side. Has a man going to the net. Bond dropped it off. Wong sent a floater that was blocked away by Wallace. Now Tyson Lambert, wearing number 15 tonight, sent it up. It was deflected in by Russell, but it flies into the protective netting over the glass out of play in Prowlers territory. So overall, just 2 shots on that man advantage for the Prowlers, the 4-minute double minor. Back to 5-on-5 as Deck works it up to Jay. Pace put it back towards Learakos. Rink wide feed comes to Nilsson. He'll dump it in. Deck turning away from Learakos. Learakos trying to one-hand it through. Koch able to pull it out. They had his stick lifted by Jay. Jay knocked down. And the Prowlers will go right back to the man advantage. Another quality power play for Port Huron. They'll try to extend the lead to 3. Hugo Koch, the one heading to the box. Looked like he just got his stick in there on Dalton Jay as he was moving up ice. Tripping is the call. So 8:35 to go in the second period. Prowlers send out that Sam Merritt unit, although they have Austin Federley out there in place of Matt Stoya. At least right now, maybe we'll see Stoya on the other power play, that unit that featured 5 forwards the last time out. Federley being one of them. He has the puck now. Backhanded along to DeCumbus. Wheels up the right wing side. Took a hit from Costello, although Costello looked like he took the worst of it as he went down. Now Picard walking in, fires, blocked. Turner feeling the effects of that one. He's still out there as he watches Alex Johnson down low. Picard again. That one blocked by Helland as he went down to a knee. He sends Costello on his way. Penalty coming up against the Prowlers as Costello backhanded one that was stopped by Wallace. And then those two collided and end up sliding into the corner together. So we'll see if that negates the Prowlers' power play or if it will be a penalty shot. And it is a hooking call to Brandon Picard, so that will negate the rest of the Prowlers' quality power play, which had 1 minute and 15 seconds left on it. And now I see Matt Stoya stepping back out onto the ice, which explains why he wasn't on the power play. Must have been in the locker room for maybe some equipment repairs. Either way, we'll have 4-on-4 for the next minute 15 and then 45 seconds of a Mississippi Seawolves power play. Graham and Learakos to take the face-off. Jay, right off the draw, skates up ice with it. Surrounded. He'll go back to neutral ice. Send it all the way across to Parsons. Hurls back to Young able to chop it along, and Jay finds it, gives back to Young. His pass was intercepted, and Leorakos finds it in his feet, sent Russell in, passes off his stick, he'll recollect. Graham digging away in there, pops out to Parsons. Finds Jay, 3-on-2 for the Prowlers. Jay to Graham, fires, and that one goes wide. Russell forced back. Prowlers in the midst of a change. Lind, headman feed on for Leorakos. Has a man going to net. It's Bond, gets it there. Couldn't get a shot off. Now Federley trying to start a rush. Gives to Merritt. Merritt to the trailer looking for Johnson. That was broken up. Now Wong the other direction. Johnson able to take the puck away from him. Gets it up to Merritt. And now it's a Mississippi power play for the next 40 seconds as their guy steps out of the box. It's Koch, and he joins this power play unit. Turner gives it to him. Koch dangling through, lost the puck in his feet, and Foley clears the length of the sheet. 20 seconds to go on the Mississippi power play. Now 6:07 left in period 2. Here's Wong, cross to Leorakos, looking for a backdoor play to Costello, hit a skate. Heinzel rims it around the boards, kept in by Turner. Final seconds ticking off. The man advantage for Mississippi as Turner gives it down low. We're back to 5-on-5, and a kick saved by Wallace on the redirection from Koch. Leorakos had it poked away by Stoya. Here's Wong up high to Turner. Back to Philip Wong. Hassled by Heinzel. And Picard goes off the wall. He'll chase after it. But he's beaten there to the puck by Koch. Wong. And now Russell puts it in the corner. Had no teammates there, so Evan Foley takes the puck back for Port Huron. Young holds. Feeds Bushbacher, who tips it along. Sim skates into it. Got around Helland, but he lost the puck. And Helland sends Licio on his way. Outside try, gloved and held by Ian Wallace. And we will get a face-off. 4:53 to go in period number 2. Still a 5-3 Prowlers lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. Back here in Port Huron, 4:53 to go in the Hungry Howie's second period, and it's still a 5-3 lead for the Port Huron Prowlers. That quick shot off the draw got blocked in traffic. Wong trying to send it back door. Bond wasn't looking. It went off his skate and almost went in. Puck bounces past Pace at the point. Puts a bump on Bushbacher, who has the puck. Bushbacher across looking for Sim back door. Couldn't tap it home. Costello gets around Young. Down to Anise, still with the puck. And he's taken into the wall by Deck. Bushbacher flips it out. Lind settles it down in his own end. That one goes all the way down, icing waved off. So Young plays it. Rims it up the near side. Nilsson first on it, though, for Mississippi. Now Merritt gloves it down, starting a rush. Bushbacher tried to go back to Merritt. Pass was behind him. Leorakos back into offensive territory. Give and go to Nilsson. Out for Koch. And a good stick by Bushbacher to keep that shot from being dangerous. Turner plays it back in his own end. Prowlers finishing up a change. Merritt in on the forecheck, steals the puck. Back to Foley. Tried one more pass. And it deflects right to Shepard, who covers up for a face-off. 3:31 to go in period number 2. And we see Dalton Jay stepping back out onto the ice. A little note with Dalton Jay's assist on Phil Bushbacher's goal earlier in this period. He becomes the first player with 400 points in a Port Huron Prowlers uniform. So congratulations to Dalton Jay, the Prowlers' all-time leader in goals and points. Parsons looking up towards Jay. Now Russell. D to Lambert. Up the wall. Glove down by Parsons. Makes a move at center. Able to poke it into Seawolves territory. Knocked right back out. Behind the Prowler net, it's Stoya taking a big hit from Lambert. Now Pinkowski from the point. Scooped up by Wallace, and he'll hang on for a whistle. 2:52 up on the clock. And the Prowlers and Seawolves both getting some changes in. Helen to deal with Graham at the face-off dot. And now they'll redo it. I'll try again. Comes back to Heinzel. He'll start the breakout. Rink-wide feed towards Bushbacher, out of his reach. So we'll have another face-off back in Ian Wallace's territory. .244 left to go in the Hungry Howie's second period. This time it'll be Philip Wong drawing with Matt Graham, and he has Jackson Bond set up right behind him. Face-off comes more to the middle, though. And it's worked up to Schumacher. Has help coming. All the way across looking for Sim. Bond broke it up. Stopped up along the half wall. Graham takes the puck. Gives out high to Heinzel. Tried to load the cannon. Took a stick up high. And went to the ice. Prowlers will get another power play. Adam Heinzel still down on his knees here. Prowlers trainer Bridget Smith is coming out. I think there is some blood on the ice. This should be 4 minutes. Actually, it will be 2. That was Adam Heinzel's mouthguard I saw there on the ice. But either way, Prowlers quality power play. With 2:17 to go in the second period. Man, I'm just getting everything wrong when it comes to Adam Heinzel today. I thought he was going to the box earlier, but it turned out that wasn't the case. I thought there was blood on the ice. That was just his mouth guard. Maybe I should just stop guessing. Merritt working it down to Picard. He rims it around. Johnson comes down for it. Now DeCumbus swoops in. Out high to Stoya. Matt Stoya walks down the wall. Tried to pick the corner from the corner. That ends up going off the glass, back to Prowler ice. Merritt Over to Stoya. He'll curl back. Now up to Johnson. Met there by Bush Anderson at the blue line. Prowlers just trying to keep this puck in as they dig away. Johnson over to Stoya with some space. Cross looking for Zakumbis. Off his stick. Poked around to Merritt. Johnson cruising through the slot. They get it there. Backhand try. In and out of the glove of Shepard. Zakumbis out high looking for Stoya. They're just able to keep that puck in. Rimmed around to Merritt. Bush Anderson takes him hard into the wall. That clearing attempt right off the face of Brandon Picard. 36 seconds left on the Prowlers power play. Federley almost lost it. Now Jay hustling up. He stops. Sends it down to Graham. Has a man going back door. He'll shoot it instead. Shepard made the save, and it's cleared all the way down. 37 seconds left to go in the period. And 17 seconds now on the Prowlers power play. Federley, saucer pass, hit Graham in the skates. Leoracco's trying to turn it into a shorthanded chance. Backhands it across. Russell, stopped by Wallace, and the puck flies out of play. There are 4 seconds left on the Prowlers power play and 21.4 left in the second period. And a similar story to the last power play for the Prowlers, the double minor, where they were able to set up, get a couple of shots at the beginning part, but then near the end, struggling to get it out of their own zone, and Mississippi had some opportunities there. So we're back to 5-on-5. Parsons digs it out. Final 10 seconds, but then a penalty is called. Boarding is the signal. And who are they taking? They're taking Lambert. So the Prowlers right back to the quality power play with 8.7 seconds up on the clock. I didn't see it. It was behind the play. And now looking on the replay, Lambert hit Dalton J right in the numbers. That's going to be called. And the parade to the penalty box continues. Tyson Lambert, the latest member. Off the faceoff, flies right out of play, and that actually works in the Prowlers' favor, because instead of the puck going all the way down the ice, it only burns about a second and a half. And it's another faceoff to Joseph Shepard's right. Leorakos will try and do the same thing. It's tied up there. Comes back to the point. Stoya fires. It's blocked by Wong. And that's going to do it for the second period here from McMorran Place, with the score 5-3 in favor of the Port Huron Prowlers. Shots on goal in that frame, 11 for the Prowlers, 9 for the Mississippi Seawolves. Game totals favoring Mississippi, though, 25-24. Stay tuned for the second intermission as we get our third episode of Behind the Eyes, the Port Huron Prowlers training camp behind-the-scenes documentary. Episode 3 tonight, episode 4 tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the final episode, so make sure you tune in tonight for episode 3, and we'll also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. As Yanni Leorakos is having extra conversations with the referee right now at center ice. Not sure what he's chatting about, chatting with Steve Gowdy there as the rest of his team heads off the ice. Leorakos, a player assistant for this Mississippi club, also wears an A on his chest. Having an extra long conversation with Steve Gowdy over there in front of the penalty boxes, and they can't start intermission until those two and the linesman standing over there get off the ice as well. So momentarily we'll be able to start intermission, and again, stay tuned for Behind the Eyes, episode 3, and a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. Well, get your tickets for the Prowlers' next home game as they host the Mississippi Seawolves tomorrow, October 28th, with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan the QR code on your screen now. Feel free to pause the stream if you need to get your phone out to scan that QR code. But make sure you get your tickets for the next battle between these two teams coming tomorrow night here at McMorran Place. We're finally able to get the second intermission underway, and we will take a timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
You might not realize it, but tonight you made a difference. Tonight you ordered a little love, hope, and pizza. Because even though you just ordered a pizza for dinner, that one little purchase helps make a big difference. For every pizza purchased in the month of October, Hungry Howie's will make a donation to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, all on our way to raising $5 million. So this time you didn't just order pizza. You ordered a little love, hope, and pizza.
Hungry Howie's!
I want guys that are going to work hard all the time. I want guys that are going to play on the edge. Every contract's a one-day contract here.
Hey, we're gonna go hard next shift.
Yeah, it's nice because I think a lot of guys probably were worn down a little bit from going twice a day. But it's one of those things where you only have 10 days. So you have to pack as much stuff as you can into 10 days to get everyone on the same page playing the way that you want them to play or I want them to play. So, it's just, it's necessary. But the good thing about this week is that, you're back to once a day. You start to settle into a regimen and a routine, know what to kind of expect a little bit. And then your body probably gets a little more chance to recover prior to Friday night's game. Well, the fans are what keep us ticking and keep us here in town. I could speak to. We're going into season 9 here, so we've been here a long time. We've been in the league for 9 years now. Next year's year 10. Events like that, showing appreciation to the people that keep us here are definitely important to keeping us part of this community.
Obviously, it's the season ticket holders that keep us operating year after year, and your guys' support. We appreciate it. Even if this is your first year, your 9th year, thank you guys. Really appreciate your guys' support. We're looking for a successful year. I really like the roster that we've assembled so far. Like all the things that we got going on. We're going in the right direction for sure here. You can tell by the momentum we've built over the last few years. This season we actually have more season ticket holders than we did last season. We're excited about that.
I'm going to end the scrimmage right here. Stay tuned. If he ends it, that's okay too.
Hey, three! I'm okay with that.
That's okay too. I don't lie.
Prowlers out 3, 1, 2, 3, Prowlers!
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should have just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Welcome back to McMorran Place, where the Prowlers are holding a 5-3 lead on the Mississippi Seawolves through 2 periods of play. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight in what's been a wild one on the scoreboard and into the penalty boxes, although just 1 goal in that second period, so the scoring has toned down just a little bit, but still a 5-3 lead for the Prowlers. Let's take a look around the FPHL with our out-of-town scoreboard. Right now in the third period, it's the Binghamton Black Bears who have hung 7 and now make it 8 on the Watertown Wolves. An 8-4 lead for Binghamton in period 3. There, they got 2 quick goals in the third to blow that one wide open. At the second intermission in Danbury, 2-1 is the score in favor of the Hat-Tricks. Jared Yao with the only goal of the second period to give his team the lead. The Motor City Rockers have scored 4 unanswered. Down the road in Fraser, they're getting ready to start the third period there. I think they have a while, but in the middle of the intermission, 4-2 is the score in favor of the host Rockers. Pavel Svintsov has a couple of tallies for Motor City in that one. Finally, down in the Bayou, the Columbus River Dragons have a 2-1 lead on Baton Rouge as they play late in the first period, although the Zydeco did get the first goal of the game. Marquis Graham Mentis gave Baton Rouge its first ever lead as a franchise in the game, but 2 from Columbus since then in less than a minute back in that first period has given the River Dragons the 2-1 lead. Let's take a look ahead for the Prowlers. If you check out the upcoming schedule, they'll play against these same Mississippi Seawolves tomorrow night here at McMorran Place. Another 7:05 start. You can get your tickets, as we've mentioned already, at phprowlers.com/tickets. Or you can call the box office 810-985-6166. 7:05 p.m. start time for that one tomorrow. But then they'll get a week off. The first weekend of November, no games for the Prowlers. So if you're a fan of just jumping right into the season, you hate it. If you're a fan of getting rest and playing a few games and then figuring out what you need to do, I guess you like it. But Prowlers will sit next weekend out in the FPHL before they return the second week of November, a home and home with the Motor City Rockers, certainly a familiar sight for Prowlers fans, that home and home with Motor City. But next week, no games for the Prowlers. Turning our attention back to tonight, we take a look at the game stats. And the Prowlers getting the only goal of that second period. It was a power play goal. Port Huron now 3 for 8 on the man advantage. Mississippi unofficially 0 for 2, but that's I just counted how many actual power plays they had, 0 for 2. So official in my book, Mississippi 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Prowlers 3 for 8. And Mississippi coming in with 27 penalty minutes so far. Prowlers with 13. No misconducts or 10-minute penalties have been handed out at all tonight, which in a game with this much rough stuff, a little bit surprising, but it's not like anyone has done anything to warrant the 10-minute misconduct. We'll see if anything boils over in the third period as we get set for the final 20 minutes of regulation here from McMorran Place, and Prowlers will start it on the man advantage with still a Mississippi Seawolf sitting in the box, Tyson Lambert, who picked up that boarding penalty right at the end of the second period. Joseph Shepard in the cage, 2 hour left. 19 saves on 24 shots tonight. Ian Wallace getting set in the crease to our right. You can see him there on your screen. 22 saves on 25 shots. And he was a perfect 9 for 9 in that second period. Prowlers setting out the Sam Merritt unit, it looks like, to start this period, as again they do begin on the man advantage. And if you need a refresher, that's Merritt, DeCumbus, Picard, Johnson, and Stoya. Power play unit that does have a power play goal tonight. That belonging to Brandon Picard. Seawolves will be countering with, it looks like, Leorakos, Koch, Turner, and Bush Anderson to begin the kill as we begin the third period. Hopefully momentarily, is Alex Johnson having a discussion with a couple of the officials over in front of the scorers table. Neither team set up yet. We do have 20 minutes up on the clock, a minute 51 of power play time for the Prowlers. And all we're waiting for are the referees to get things going. Again, still hanging out here. Not sure what we're waiting on. Maybe the second linesman. I do only see 3. Oh, nope, there's the second linesman. We do have 4. And still not sure what we're waiting for out here. Maybe waiting for the water to dry up a little bit on the ice here. Zamboni did just get off. So that's possible that's what we're waiting for. Mississippi now getting some lapsing. We'll take a break and we'll bring you back when it's time for period number 3 here on the PHP Network.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family...
Now we're ready to go for the third period. Prowlers starting on the power play. And we are underway. Merritt wins the face-off to start it. Kicked along the near side. Long held up there by DeCumbus. Merritt finds it in some open space. Couldn't get it on net. He took a tumble. Turner bounces it off the boards to center. Minute 25 left on the Prowlers power play. Johnson sends a pass up to Picard at the Mississippi Blue. He'll rim it around. DeCumbus takes it from Turner. And now Johnson as the Prowlers set up. Stoya wants the one-timer. He takes it. Bush Anderson blocked it with his skate but couldn't get it out. Johnson to Picard. Shot blocked by Bush Anderson. And then trying to bank it off of Shepard. He looked behind him for a second, but he has it. And that will stop play. 58 seconds left on the Prowlers power play. 54 gone. 54 seconds gone in this third period. Prowlers switching units. Here's Sim trying to find the puck. He does. Bouncing around down low. Foley swoops in, looking for Graham at the crease. Taken away by Pace. And he'll send it out. Joe Pace, the former GM and head coach of the Prowlers, guarding, at that point, the current GM and head coach of the Prowlers, Matt Graham. Comes out to Federley. 30 seconds left on the power play. Seam pass to Jay, knocked down in the crease. And Shepard able to get the glove on top as he had some trouble with Dalton Jay's shot. So the Prowlers generating some rebounds there. Unable, though, to take advantage as we get set for another face-off deep in Mississippi territory, won cleanly by Graham. Federley to Sim towards the slot. Foley keeps it going to Jay. Down low to Graham. Fed out in front, couldn't connect with Foley, and it's sent down the ice. That will likely take care of the rest of the Prowlers power play. So we're back to 5-on-5 as Stoya gives it to Federley. Works it up to Merritt, off the boards and out. Mississippi trying for the quick up, but the pass was at Helen's ribs. Tough to knock that puck down. Picard couldn't get it out. Squirts to the middle of the ice where Parsons rescues it. Turner right back into Prowler territory. Third period has been where Port Huron has struggled so far this season, at least in the last 2 games. Trying to get up to a good start, and the lead pass on for Picard. Misses him, but he's able to beat out the icing, and that almost leaked through Shepard. He got a backhander off. Shepard didn't know where it was. It was actually loose right next to him. And it doesn't go, and now Helland with some extra words for Parsons. Pinkowski as well getting involved in the jawing in front of the benches. Everybody separated, back to the benches, and both teams making changes. Tristan Sim getting a shot on this left wing with Evan Foley and Austin Federley. Lambert had his clearing attempt partially blocked up. Prowler's able to dump it right back in. Lambert around for Russell. Up to Costello. Sent it along. Right to Alex Johnson, though, who had his stick lifted, but he keeps the puck. That time knocked away by Costello. Federle off the wall and in. Took a hand to the face from Lambert, who finished his check and then put his hand up in Austin Federle's face. And that will be a penalty against Tyson Lambert, who looked like he was trying to goat Evan Foley into evening things up. Evan Foley a little too smart for that. That's why he wears the C on his chest. And another Prowlers quality power play coming up. Prowlers have Matt Graham's unit out, but he loses the face-off. And Federle just not able to keep it in on the near side. Jay into offensive territory. It's poked down deep, but then sent right back out. Federle sauces it on for Sim. Up towards Foley. Now Pace one times hit the length of the ice, 185 feet. Long lead pass on for Foley. He has a step, and is stopped by Shepard. Prowlers almost caught Mississippi napping in the middle of a change, and Joseph Shepard bailed out the Seawolves. Jay throws his shoulder into Bond. They have words down at the other end. Bond throwing punches at Jay. Gloves are all still on. Both guys still have gloves on. Bond throwing, again, gloved punches at Dalton Jay. And now Graham pointing at Jackson Bond. I don't think I will ever see Dalton Jay drop his mitts. At least unless it was as a joke. Clock did continue to run here for a little bit, so they'll have to figure that out. I'm sure the Prowlers have gotten the officials' attention about that. And now Wong talking to Graham, and some activity in front of the benches. Now Helland and Merritt locking up. Nothing more will come of that. Things getting feisty here between the Prowlers and the Mississippi Seawolves. They, of course, will see each other again tomorrow. Now Lucas Helland to join his teammate Tyson Lambert in the sin bin, much to the delight of the McMorran faithful. These teams will battle in Mississippi less than a month from now, on November the 24th and 25th, Thanksgiving weekend. So certainly, if there's no love lost tomorrow, I'm sure it won't fade by the time Thanksgiving rolls around in less than a month. They've reset the clock to 15:58. It's a minute 6 left on the penalty to Bond. And it will be a Prowlers 5-on-3 for that length of time. Graham wins the faceoff, and Johnson sets up. Second 5-on-3 for the Prowlers in this game. They scored on the first one. Federle over to Picard, who let the one-timer go. Johnson just able to keep it in on the near side wall. Little bit of a mixed unit here for the Prowlers. Johnson took the shot off of Bush Anderson's stick, and it flies out of play. 44 seconds left in the 5-on-3, minute 38 to go on Tyson Lambert's penalty, which officially they're calling boarding, at least for right now. As I mentioned, a mixed unit for the Prowlers. It's Graham, Foley, Picard, Johnson, and Federle. One back cleanly to Johnson. And now Federle. Back to Johnson. Down to Foley. Up to Johnson. Cross to Federle. He and Johnson play catch. Federle over to Picard. Takes the shot. It's there in the slot, and they score! Matt Graham on the doorstep. Another power play goal for Port Huron. first of the season for the Prowlers head coach, makes it 6-3. And that gets him to 99 goals as a Port Huron Prowler. Prowlers will stay on the man advantage for another minute and 19 seconds. And they send out Sam Merritt and his full unit, the unit that we were seeing earlier in the night. That's the Prowlers' first third period goal of the season. And the first one of the year again for Matt Graham. 132 now in his FPHL career. Of course, more known for his passing abilities is Matt Graham, and he does have a couple of helpers tonight. Not sure what we're trying to figure out here. 3-point night now for Matt Graham. Goal and 2 assists. So they're looking up at the score clock. There are still 2 Seawolves in the box. I'm not sure why. No extra penalty to either of them came down on my penalty sheet here. And now I see why Helland got an extra unsportsmanlike conduct. So there was actually supposed to be 3 penalties up on the board. So the Prowlers will still be 5-on-3 for the next minute 19. Helland for unsportsmanlike conduct, Bond for boarding just 41 seconds ago. So it continues 5-on-3 for the Prowlers. And a real good chance to blow this game wide open. Prowlers did score 10 on Mississippi last season. That was in Baton Rouge. That matched their season high. Picard goes over to Stoya. Now Stoya feeds Picard. Picard and Federley picking up the assists on Graham's first of the year. Stoya to Picard, has space, fires off the bar! Right where the post and the crossbar meet. Brandon Picard almost picked that corner for his second of the night. Merritt flying back in, drops it to Johnson, he scores! First of the year for the other Prowlers coach, Alex Johnson's on the board. (7-3) Port Huron. And Alex Johnson, after back-to-back years as a second-team All-Star in the FPHL, trying to get that Defenseman of the Year nomination, has his first goal of the year, and that will certainly help get him in the conversation. Prowlers still on the power play, 5-on-4. Bond sends it all the way down. That's the third 5-on-3 power play goal for the Prowlers tonight. Now Jay on his way, has Foley with him. Tried to drop it into the slot. Sim. Prowlers set up. Federley slows things down, gives to Sim, who has 2 tonight. Graham poked it away from Koch. They battle for the puck. Foley comes in to help out. Koch backhands it up right into Sim. Graham fumbled the bouncing puck. Graham trying to defend Leorakos, who went down to a knee. Those two look to get back up. Prowlers look to start a rush. It's Jay across to Sim. Backdoor looking for Foley. Just didn't put enough on the stick to tap it home. Leorakos sends it the length of the sheet. So it looks like Mississippi will kill off this power play, but 2 5-on-3 goals for the Prowlers, extending the lead to 4 at 7-3. Young dangling his way through, takes the shot, knocked down by Shepard. Dalton Young's a slippery guy when he gets in on you. He showed off his stick handling. Now Wong trying to respond for Mississippi, and Braden Deck comes up with a block. Wong and Deck get into a little pushing and shoving. And here is Deck with the puck. Headman feed, deflected on to Picard. Now he sends Dalton Anderson in. He's knocked down. Russell up to Costello, taps it on for Wong. Up to Jackson Bond. Back to Wong, into the slot. Taken away by the Prowlers. Bushbacher was skating up ice, but a penalty coming up. Looks like against Port Huron. Cross-checking was the signal. We'll see who they take to the box. And with 12:21 to go in the third period, another true balance penalty kill for the Prowlers, and Adam Heinzel, this time the one going to the box. Those goals from Matt Graham and Alex Johnson, 43 seconds apart. Again, both on the power play. Sam Merritt and Vinny DeCumbis picking up the assists on Johnson's tally. And we will get this power play when we come back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
You might not realize it, but tonight, you made a difference. Tonight, you ordered a little love, hope, and pizza. Because even though you just ordered a pizza for dinner, that one little purchase helps make a big difference. For every pizza purchased in the month of October, Hungry Howie's will make a donation to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, all on our way to raising $5 million. So this time, you didn't just order pizza. You ordered a little love, hope, and pizza.
Hungry Howie's.
Back here in Port Huron, it's a Mississippi Seawolves power play with 12:21 to go in the third period. Adam Heinzel, 2 minutes for cross-checking. And now off the draw, Turner sends it across to Liarakos. Back across the puck comes Costello. Down the wall, Wong. Out high to Liarakos. One touches it to Turner. Prowlers PK also doing well tonight. That one out in front. And just as I say that, they score on the rebound. It's Philip Wong making the announcer's jinx come true. And Mississippi gets one back on the power play to make it a 3-goal game. 11:54 now to go in period number 3. Wong has his first of the evening, third of the year. Here's Koch in from the outside, sticked away by Wallace. Koch again. Played off Wallace, and it goes all the way out of the zone. Prowlers will try and make sure this doesn't turn into a run like in the first period when Mississippi got one and then a few more pretty quick. Now Koch wrestling with Stoya over by the Zamboni doors. They both get back to their feet. Meanwhile, on the puck, it's Foley. Dumping it down, looking for Merritt. Nilsson first on it, though. And Picard chases back to center. Gives it to Deck. Now Licio in for an outside shot, missed it wide. Russell couldn't keep it in, and Licio plays it. So offsides against the Seawolves. 10:52 left to go, and a 7-4 barn burner here at McMorran Place. Face-off coming outside the Prowlers zone. Anderson and Helland there to take it. One back to Young. Quickly up to Picard. But Russell was able to take it away. Jay chops it along, gets it deep. And now Helland played it off his own man's skate. It dribbled right to Shepard, and there was a Prowler in the area. Dangerous times for the Seawolves, as Lucas Helland was trying to make a cross-ice pass. And I hit a skate on, almost ended up into the net. Hugo Koch and Yanni Liarakos picking up the assists on Philip Wong's goal. 4th of the game for the Mississippi Seawolves. And Young flips it deep. Delayed offsides though. Prowlers touch up. It's Bush Anderson working into offensive territory. Saved by Wallace. The rebound swept aside by Young. Port Huron looking for a rush now. 2-on-2. Bushbacher shoots, gloved and held by Joseph Shepard. Prowlers sending out Sam Merritt's line for this offensive zone face-off. And it's one back by Merritt. Heinzel got it through almost. It was blocked down. Got it through the first layer, not the second. Mississippi trying to clear. Merritt knocks it off of Nilsson's stick. The pass back to Heinzel was stepped by Koch. Now Liarakos in front, comes out to Koch, and he wires it home. Hugo Koch with a rip to the top corner as the Prowlers had trouble exiting their own end, and all of a sudden, it is a 2-goal game. Still plenty of time, 9:42 left to go in period number 3. And for Hugo Koch, his second tally of the night. He is a 3-point night now. Lots of players with multi-point nights tonight. Wong ahead to Russell. Now to Bond. Dangles around Stoya, but he went down, and the puck skitters to the corner. Liarakos and Nilsson pick up the assists as DeCumbus plays it off the boards. Prowlers are right back in a tight game. Looked like they were running away with it after those power play goals. But just like that, just 2 goals is the deficit for Mississippi. Under 9 minutes to play now. Liarakos tried a dangerous drop pass with Dalton Jay in the area. Now Young in his own end. Chased by Licio. Dalton Young speeding up ice. Danced around a hit, but he lost the puck in his skates. Now Ethan Bush Anderson gets the red line. Now the Prowler blue. All the way around the net. But Anderson takes the puck away neatly. Picard tosses it out. Helland dumped it in, but right off the linesman, so Picard is able to get it back to neutral ice. That one gets through everybody. And icing waved off, though. Deck goes D-to-D to Young. Lead pass on, taken away by Liarakos. Save, rebound, and I think Dalton Young just saved a goal there on Danny Licio following it up. And he gets a tap from Ian Wallace. Good play there from Dalton Young to keep it a 2-goal game. Well, after only one tally in the second period, the goals are coming fast and furious again in the third. 7-5 Prowlers. We'll take a break. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here at McMorran Place with 7:59 to go in the third period. Prowlers hanging on to a 2-goal lead, but it's the Seawolves who have scored the last 2 in this game. Lind with a wrist shot clutched to the chest by Wallace, and we'll get another face-off. Philip Wong and Hugo Koch scoring 2 minutes and 12 seconds apart. That's brought Mississippi back within 2 and gives them some life. Johnson flips it ahead for Foley. He'll dump it in. Federley and Lind after it. Now Johnson rimming it all the way around. Graham, fresh off the bench, gets there first. Foley. Curls tried to feed the middle of the ice. Only Leo Rocco's there, but it's turned over. Shot from the point from Bushbacher deflects wide. Heinzel shanked that shot from the point, and then Bushbacher another try off the glove of Shepard. Now Johnson walks into it. It's blocked down, sits there in front of the crease, and Shepard able to jump on top. I think he had to make another save in tight. And it may have been Matt Graham or maybe Phil Bushbacher who got the second shot opportunity. 7:02 left to go in the third period. And for those keeping track at home, 3 players on hat trick watch tonight. Hugo Koch with 2 goals for Mississippi, and then Tristan Sim and Phil Bushbacher for the Prowlers. Couple of tallies apiece. Stoya off the faceoff towards Graham. He tipped it wide, looking for his second of the night. Bond up, looking for Costello. He'll chase it down, get there first. Fed out in front towards Russell, knocked away. And Bonds with a little reverse hit on Graham. The arm is up in the air, as the Mississippi bench all put their arms up in the air as well. Penalty must have come away from the puck. I didn't see it. But right now it's a 6-on-5 advantage for Mississippi, with Shepard at the bench on the delayed penalty. Bond comes in. He's knocked off the puck, and then Bond takes Parsons hard into the wall. A crowd gathers there. Parsons has, I believe, to be Bond. Now Wallace and Leo Rockos shot the puck at each other. So Leo Rockos has Dalton Anderson wrapped up. And now Matt Stoya heading back to his bench. Bond collects his helmet. Brian Parsons, the one heading to the penalty box for the Prowlers. And I believe that is on the original call. That was the delayed penalty, although it's possible Yanni Liarakos may have evened things up. Oh no, he was just heading over that way chatting with the linesman. The penalty box door was open for him, but it is just Brian Parsons sitting in the box. 6:13 to go in the third period. And Mississippi with an opportunity on the power play to get back into another one back in this against this Prowler lead. It's a 2-goal game coming down to the wire here. And they're going to move this puck outside of the Prowlers' end because the Mississippi defenseman came down below the faceoff dots in the Prowlers' zone during that scrum. So Wong and Foley to draw, and Wong wins it back cleanly. Here's Turner. That one partially deflected. Liarakos all the way across. And now Costello. To Turner. Drops it back off to Costello. Turner again winds. Feeds Liarakos. Didn't get all of that one-timer, and it's sent out of play. 5:50 now to go in the third period. Minute 37 left on the Seawolves power play. Liarakos wrists it through, knocked down. Costello played it right back into Wallace, who was swimming, and he's able to clamp the glove on top. And now Young getting involved with a couple of Seawolves. Still some words as the linesman breaking up Young and Costello. I believe Wong was originally involved with Dalton Young. Face-off will come over to the far side. Minute 31 left on the Seawolves power play. And that one splits the Mississippi D at the blue line, as good as a Prowlers clear. Now Federley causing some havoc. He'll take the puck, and he'll just get it deep, waste a little more time. Now Federley to the bench as the Prowlers complete their change. Liarakos softly on Wallace. He'll catch and hold for a whistle and a face-off. The Prowlers making a wall around Ian Wallace, keeping Liarakos from getting involved at all around their netminder. Face-off tied up at the dot. Deck taken into the wall by Costello. And at the side of the cage, it's Wallace again putting the glove on top. 55 seconds to go on the penalty to Brian Parsons. Foley able to win this one cleanly from Wong. Deck and Costello go into the Zamboni doors. Heinzel and Koch in there as well. Wong trying to dig it free. It's underneath Deck. Still stuck up on the door. And now finally Koch able to take it. Deck was knocked down. Prowlers bench wanted a penalty. They won't get it. 30 seconds left on the Parsons minor. Bond had to kick it back up to his stick. Now he feeds Turner. Up to Jackson Bond. Into Prowlers territory. Makes a move. Sent it back out to the slot. They score. It's Joachim Nielsen making it a 1-goal game. Power play goal for Mississippi. And 4:26 still to go in the third period. So Joachim Nielsen playing his first game in North America, has his second goal and third point of the night. Off the face-off, Jay with a quick shot. Almost found it back off of Lambert, who had blocked the original try. Costello, hassled by Picard. Jay steps in front of that pass. There's Anderson, whipping it in front. Jay across to Picard, slid it down low. Jay trying to pick it up on the other side. It was knocked away. Heinzel from the point, steered off the glass by Shepard. Anderson and Bond chasing after that loose puck. Bond curling back from Picard. Prowlers get a full change going. 3:38 left in regulation. Now Foley with a steal to Merritt, waiting for help off the bench. He'll circle the net. Drops it off to Federley. Curls away from a hit. But Foley lost the puck to Liarakos. Flips it along, glove down by Johnson. Sends it right in on Shepard. Liarakos throws his body into Alex Johnson. And now Yanni Liarakos with the puck. And Johnson gives the body right back. Physical play continues. Here's Turner flipping it towards the corner. Glove down by Johnson. Trying to outrace Liarakos to the red line. Liarakos went down, but he's able to take the puck away from Johnson. Johnson throws a hit on Bush Anderson, then Johnson knocked down. A rough ship for Alex Johnson. He may need an ice pack when he gets back to the bench. Sim with a steal. Sends it in. Bush Anderson first to collect. Ethan Bush Anderson able to force it along to Licio. To Cumbus. Almost took it right away. Battle in front of the Prowlers bench ensues. It's in Heinzel's feet. And now Graham able to settle it down. Back to Sim, who plays it out. 2:05 to go in regulation. As it's dumped deep, Sim lost it. Took a big hit. And now Licio towards the net. And Wallace has seen enough. He'll cover up Pinkowski right in his face. And then Pinkowski goes right down on Wallace. And Sim wraps him up. Pinkowski leaning in tight on Ian Wallace. And now he's having a chat with the referee after that. We will take our final timeout. Coming down to the wire here at McMorran. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it! I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com. .152 to go in regulation. Prowlers hanging on to a 1-goal lead on the Mississippi Seawolves. We'll keep an eye on Joseph Shepard at the other end of the ice. And he is heading to the bench It's a 6-on-5 advantage for Mississippi. Goalie pulled. Stoya flips it down ice. Picard trying to skate into it, but it's knocked to Costello. Now Foley gloves it down. He sends it down ice off of Mississippi stick. Icing waved off. 90 seconds to go. Lind overskated it momentarily. Now Anderson comes in to disrupt. Wong able to work it out, only to Foley. His shot towards the empty net was blocked by Lind. Dumped in, Johnson trying the 185-foot goal, and he'll miss it wide right. And a face-off will come all the way back down. 64 seconds on the clock. We've seen 13 goals in tonight's game, and it's coming down to just one. And it looks like the Prowlers have called their timeout. 1:04 on the clock. This has been a heck of a game, and anyone who's been here for the entire thing can attest to that. Prowlers went up 3-0 in the opening period. Brandon Picard scored a power play goal, and then Tristan Sim got his first two as a pro. Prowlers were sitting pretty up 3-0 with under 4 to play in the first period. But then Chuck Costello scored shorthanded. Hugo Koch and Joachim Nilsson also scored. All of a sudden it was 3-3. And then 6 seconds after it was tied, it was untied again. Phil Buschbacher getting his first as a Prowler. Early in the second, Buschbacher got his second as a Prowler. That one was a power play goal. That was the only goal of the middle frame. So 5-3 was the score. Heading into the third, Matt Graham and Alex Johnson scored on the power play. That made it a 7-3 game. 5.5 minutes into this final period of regulation. But then the Seawolves not going away. 2 power play goals and an even strength one. Most recently, the man advantage marker from Joachim Nilsson. And that's how we got here. A 1-goal game, 7-6. And an entertaining one. And Joe Pace's return to Port Huron. Leah Rockos lined up right at the top of that circle behind Wong, who will take the draw against Evan Foley. And it's worked to the point. Turner walks the line, feeds Leah Rockos, sent it on net, but it hit Foley. Stick flies up out of play. 55.5 up on the big board. Last year in Mississippi, Prowlers scored a goal with about 90 seconds left from Larry Vartiainen to give them the lead, but then the Seawolves were able to tie it after that, and that was the game that ended up going to a shootout. Prowlers hoping they can hold here. Wong, head up. Johnson down on his knees, able to block that shot. Or the pass, excuse me. Bond tried to turn it on goal. Costello just tipped it wide. Costello out high to Bush Anderson. Now Turner. Back to Bush Anderson. One-time blast kicked out by Wallace. The rebound. He's got it too. And the Prowlers clear it. Hustling after the icing is Turner. And he'll get there with exactly 23 ticks left. Couple of close calls there. Leah Rockos again lined up at the top of that circle, this time on Wong's left. As Wong takes the draw against Matt Graham. Graham wins it over to the boards. Young pokes it ahead. Foley softly off the boards and out. 15 seconds to go. Bush Anderson, they have to hurry. Comes to Turner. Gets the red line, gets the Prowler blue. Sam Turner, outside try, knocked down by Wallace, out of the zone, and the Prowlers are going to get their first win of 2023-24. Ian Wallace makes the last save. He has his first win of the season, and they're partying here in Port Huron. A 7-6 barn burner victory. But 3 points are 3 points for the Port Huron Prowlers. So the Prowlers will salute their fans, who they will send home happy for the first time this season. Let's send it out for the 3 stars. So Tristan Sim announced as the 3rd star of the night with his 2 goals, his first 2 as a professional. Yanni Liarakos gets the 2nd star for Mississippi. He had a 4-assist evening. And then Matt Graham, the 1st star of the night with a goal and 2 assists. Although Alex Johnson will get credit for the game-winning goal in the 3rd period. Prowlers pull this one out. 7-6 your final. They had leads of 3-0 and 7-3 at different points in this game, and they're able to hold off the Mississippi Seawolves run late in the 3rd period. We invite you to tune into our next broadcast when the Prowlers take on the Mississippi Seawolves again tomorrow here at McMorran Place. Puck drop scheduled for 7:05 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 6:50, all right here on the PHP Network. Well, before we continue on with the post-game show, let's take one more look around the FPHL with 4 other games in action. We start in Binghamton, where the Black Bears have just finished off a 9-5 victory against the Watertown Wolves. So not the only barn burner in the league tonight here in Port Huron. Meanwhile, in Danbury, the Carolina Thunderbirds have 3 in the 3rd period. They have a late 4-2 lead on the Hat Tricks. Motor City and Blue Ridge have gone back and forth. It was a 2-0 Blue Ridge lead, then a 4-2 Motor City lead, and now it's 4-4 as they begin overtime. Finally, down in the Bayou, the River Dragons have a 3-2 lead on the Baton Rouge Zydeco. That one late stages, 2nd period. And here, of course, a 7-6 barn burner victory for the Port Huron Prowlers. And you want to talk offensive stats, just about everyone was getting in on the offense, including Ian Wallace, who picked up an assist on the first goal of the night. But for the Prowlers, Matt Graham had a 3-point night. They had 7 other multi-point scorers, including, again, Tristan Sim, who scored his first 2 goals as a professional, and Phil Bushbacher, who scored his first 2 goals as a Prowler. On the other side, Yanni Liarakos led the way for all scores with 4 assists, a 4-point night for him. 2 goals and an assist for both Hugo Koch and Joachim Nilsson, and then Sam Turner with a 2-assist night, as the Prowlers beat the Mississippi Seawolves by a final of 7-6, and they'll do it again tomorrow. Plenty of rough stuff, plenty of goals, and we'll see what we have in store tomorrow. You won't want to miss it. You can either be here at McMorran Place, which is the preferred option. The crowd tonight was great, and you'll want to be a part of it tomorrow, or if you can't make it, be sure to tune in right here on the PHP Network. But for Kim running the camera, I'm Will Wiggleman. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow on the PHP Network.